Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the MLB slate on DraftKings and Yahoo for Saturday, August the 31st. Now, in this video, I'll be covering the 9-game night slate. I did make a video for the early. There is a 5-game early slate today. So if you are planning to play that, make sure you check that video out. The video is already up on my channel. But for this one, we're going to cover the night slate, talk about DraftKings and Yahoo. We'll start off with pitching, work our way through the pitcher-player pool. I'll be sure to touch on all the options that I like for today. Then we'll talk about 3 specific hitters I really like. We'll talk about some stacks I'll be going to. And then towards the end of the video, we will cover some BVP plays. But before we do get started, guys, I would appreciate it if you would drop a like on the video. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button down below so that way you don't miss out on any of my new videos. But at the top of the pitcher-player pool, starting off here, Clayton Kershaw is our most expensive option today. He is $11,700 on DraftKings, and on Yahoo, Kershaw's at $54. So Kershaw's not my favorite option to pay up for today. I think Steven Strasburg is the guy that I want to go to. He's in a great spot pitching at home against the Marlins. I like Strasburg a lot on both sides. He's cheaper than Kershaw on both sides, $500 cheaper on DraftKings, $3 cheaper on Yahoo. Strasburg's definitely my top option here. You just factor in the matchup, home favorite, minus 299 favorite, low total for the Marlins. We know how bad this Marlins lineup is versus right-handed pitching. It's a great spot for Strasburg. I believe he's already faced the Marlins a couple times this year, and I'm pretty sure he's dominated in both starts. Yeah, he's faced the Marlins 3 times this year. He's averaged 34 DraftKings points against them. Just been dominant, to no surprise. He's been a great pitcher this year. This is a great matchup. Strasburg by far feels like the number one option. Honestly, would be surprised if he scores less than like 28, 29, 30 DraftKings points. I feel like that's kind of his floor in this matchup. So I'm going to be trying to pay up for Strasburg. That might not be the way to go on this slate. I don't think that's going to be the most popular way, I should say. I don't think that's going to be the chalk because there is a Coors Field game, high total in Coors. People are probably going to want to go to Coors for their hitters, so they're not going to be able to pay up for a guy like Strasburg. But I do like going to Strasburg today. I think there are some cheap bats we can target to pair with him. But for SP2, there's not a lot of great options today. Just a couple guys that stand out on DraftKings. You have Logan Webb at $7,900 at home in San Francisco against the Padres. He's someone that could potentially be a cheap SP2. Dylan Bundy I actually like here against the Royals for $7,300. He's going to be the guy that I go to on DraftKings. Now on Yahoo, the pricing's a bit different. Their pitcher pricing, like always, is pretty soft. You don't really need to go to Bundy over here because he's $39. You have Lucchesi against the Giants for $1 less, and I do prefer Lucchesi. You even have Logan Webb all the way down here at $31. But I'm going to be going to Lucchesi on Yahoo. You play him and Strasburg together, you're still left with $13 remaining per player, which pretty easily can be worked around. So that's the pairing I'm going to be using on Yahoo. Really good spot for Lucchesi. Not much needs to be said. Facing the Giants in Oracle Park, a great ballpark for pitchers. Really bad Giants lineup. Low total on both sides of this game. I think this is a great game to target for pitching. 3.9 for the Giants, 4.1 for the Padres. If you want to go to Logan Webb as a value, I think he's definitely in play as a value pitcher. But on DraftKings, I do like Bundy. I think Bundy gives you some upside at $7,300. It is a pretty good matchup against the Royals. This Royals lineup does have some strikeouts in it, especially towards the bottom of the lineup. It's just not that good of a lineup in general. Once you get past the top 4 hitters, there's a lot of easy outs at the bottom. There's strikeouts at the bottom of the lineup as well. Pretty good spot for Dylan Bundy. Pretty good pitcher's park. I do like him quite a bit at $7,300. I think he is the SP2 that I'm going to be using on DraftKings to pair with Steven Strasburg. Because there's really no really cheap option. Musgrove at $6,600 I don't want to play in Coors. Dylan Peters against the Red Sox I don't want to go to. Maybe you could go to Jorge Lopez against the Orioles, but I think I'd actually prefer Orioles bats because Jorge Lopez is just not a good pitcher, really bad pitcher. I definitely think the Orioles do give you some value today. But I guess if you want a full punt pitcher, you could definitely consider someone like Lopez because he's so cheap and he is in a good matchup. But I feel like a lot of my builds today, I'm going to be going Strasburg, Bundy, Strasburg, Webb, and then maybe lineups where I don't pay up for Strasburg, I'll be going Lucchesi, Bundy, Lucchesi, Webb, just different constructions like that, different builds like that. But let's go ahead and look at some bats for today. So on DraftKings, with going Strasburg, Bundy, you're only left with about $3,900 remaining per player, so we are going to need to find some cheap hitters. The Braves actually do give you some upside here, and they are very cheap versus Ronaldo Lopez. Ozzie Albies is only $4,300. Matt Joyce still feels a bit too cheap at $4K. Even guys like Donaldson at $45, Dansby at $43, You got value at the bottom of the lineup with Ortega and Flowers, both under 4K. I like the Braves again on Saturday night. I played a lot of them on Friday. Going to be going right back to them on Saturday. I think Albies is a great play at his DraftKings price of just $4,300. Matt Joyce I also like a lot at outfield at 4K. Both guys that are very good versus right-handed pitching. Both guys that have power versus righties. And Ronaldo Lopez has struggled this year to lefties. You can definitely attack Lopez, especially with a good Braves lineup like this that doesn't strike out much, that's going to put the ball in play. I expect Lopez is going to struggle here. It's just not that good of a spot having to go into Atlanta to face the Braves, a really good lineup. I do like the Braves stack again on Saturday night. But now on Yahoo, you don't really need to go to the Braves because you can actually get the Rockies for relatively good prices. Like at first base, Daniel Murphy is still really cheap at just $13. In the outfield, Charlie Blackmon still feels a little bit underpriced. He's only $20 in the outfield. Both of these guys I like a lot against Joe Musgrove. Musgrove just hasn't been that good this year. He hasn't been good away from Pittsburgh. Even in Pittsburgh, he struggled. Now he has to go into Coors Field and face the Rockies. I do like Rockies bats on Yahoo with their pricing. Like I think Sam Hilliard's like $11. He's really cheap. I think Ian Desmond's still really cheap. I'm not sure what McMahon's price is, but I know Tony Walters, whoever catches, is a pretty cheap option. The Rockies are pretty appealing on Yahoo. If you do want to go to the Braves, you can definitely target the Braves, though. Like Albies is still $18. I know Matt Joyce is still really cheap. If you want to play those guys on Yahoo, you can definitely consider them. But it is pretty easy to get a core stack in with Strasburg at pitcher, just because of how soft Yahoo's pricing is. But to go ahead and fill out my 5 for Yahoo, I know I recommended Bundy on DraftKings, but I do like Whit Merrifield a lot against him, especially with his Yahoo price. On Yahoo, he's only $13. Feels like one of the best second base plays today. Not going to be targeting Royals bats like as a stack, but I do like Whit Merrifield a lot as a one-off cash game play. At just $13 definitely makes a lot of sense. Just a really good hitter. You can definitely target Bundy with good hitters like Whit Merrifield, guys that have some power. Whit Merrifield's also got speed, so if he gets on base, could potentially run against Bundy. So I like him at his Yahoo price of just $13 as a one-off. But I do prefer Bundy, like in the scenario, like if I have to play either Bundy or stack the Royals, definitely going to be playing Bundy in that situation. But to fill out my 5 for DraftKings, we are going to need to find some more value since we obviously spend a lot of pitching. I did mention the Orioles. I think they do give you some upside here against Jorge Lopez because I just don't think Jorge Lopez is that good of a pitcher. And this Orioles team, especially when you get to like the 6th hole, the 6 through 9, there's a lot of value. A guy like DJ Stewart for only $3,400, I like quite a bit. Hasn't really been that bad lately in terms of Orioles. Like the Orioles just don't have a lot of good hitters in their lineup, but Stewart's actually been pretty good. The DraftKings game log has been pretty good lately. Been consistent just his last few games, 8, 15, 3, 4 DraftKings points. He's been scoring DK points, would you like to see. He's been getting hits. He's not a terrible hitter, batting .262 on the year. It is a great matchup with Jorge Lopez. Lopez is a terrible pitcher, doesn't get strikeouts. He's going to be pitching in the zone. So you're going to have guys be able to put the ball in play. So even though these guys at the bottom of the lineup are not good hitters, they're going to have the chance to put the ball in play. They're dirt cheap on DraftKings. I think if you want to play Chris Davis today, he makes some sense at only $2,900. Still does have a little bit of pop, and he does struggle with strikeouts, but Jorge Lopez, not a guy that's going to get strikeouts. So I like some of these Orioles bats. The top of the lineup is hard to get to because they are kind of expensive, but you can find some good value in the bottom of the lineup. And I like DJ Stewart quite a bit on DraftKings at just $3,400. Should be batting probably 5th or 6th in the lineup. But that's it for my 5 plays for DK and for Yahoo today, guys. Let's go ahead and look at some stacks, then we'll talk about some BVP before we end the video. So I would say just overall, my favorite stack on the slate is going to be the Braves here. 5.3 total versus Ronaldo Lopez. I feel like they're going to go a bit overlooked. A lot of people are going to be going to the Coors game for good reason. 6.9 total for the Pirates, 6.8 for the Rockies. But give me some Braves bats. I'm trying to fit in Strasburg, and I need some cheap value. And the Braves do give you a little bit of value on DraftKings. Orioles another team that you can go to for value versus Jorge Lopez. Lopez, just a bad pitcher, a guy I want to target against. And these Orioles bats are really cheap. And then lastly, obviously the Coors Field game, Rockies and Pirates, both make sense if you're paying down at pitching. If you're not paying up for Strasburg, these are probably the 2 teams you're going to be looking to for your hitters because Coors Field, Musgrove and Melville, 2 pitchers I would imagine are going to struggle. But let's go ahead and look at some BVP now before we end the video. So There's not really much BVP plays or many BVP plays on this night slate. Just looking through, Jose Abreu's gone 8 for 21 with 2 home runs off Dallas Keuchel. Kike Hernandez, pretty good BVP off Robbie Ray, 7 for 32 with 4 home runs. But that's really it for BVP, guys. I think that is it for this video. Hopefully you did enjoy the video, and hopefully it did help you. If you enjoyed, make sure you drop a like down below. I would really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe if you have not already. And if you do have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. Or like always, you can hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT if you do have any questions. But good luck tonight, guys. Appreciate you watching the video. We will see you in the next one. Peace.